All right, guys, you know what time it is. It's where I was right, where I was wrong. Let's get to it.
When Brad was right.
All right, so Johnson & Johnson came out with earnings, and their actual earnings were $1.98. Christian, do you know what I estimated the Johnson & Johnson earnings were going to be?
The Johnson & Johnson earnings, your prediction was $2.01, I believe.
$2.01. I was off by 4 cents. You had estimated that they would probably miss, but you weren't actually all that far off. I mean, they did actually beat earnings, but the reaction wasn't all that great. So revenue was kind of poor. Their outlook wasn't all that great, and the reaction to Johnson & Johnson wasn't spectacular. I still think it's worth holding on to if you guys looking for some long-term decent growth. I think they'll end up doing well. We also have the vaccine that's in the midst there too. They've kind of been going back and forth as far as having some snafus and speed bumps along the way as far as the vaccine is concerned, but who hasn't up to this point? So I like Johnson & Johnson still a ton. They have the best balance sheet in America, for crying out loud. All right, moving. What were you going to say?
Oh, hey. It doesn't help that the same day, or the day before, I think, they had the news about the vaccine, so their study had to be put on pause.
Right.
So it was kind of tough to sift through that. So it was sort of competing catalyst, but I agree with you. It should be good to go.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the truth. The best balance sheet in America. Next, we have Penn National, and Penn was an absolute monster. And I'm actually going to bring us over to the chart here. We're going to take a look at Penn because Penn, we've been talking about this. It was the start of Stockwatch Sunday last week. It was down to $63.50, 66, somewhere around there. And guess how far it's gone up since then, Christian?
I don't know. You tell me.
10%. If you had been in Stockwatch Sunday last week at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, you would know the Penn National was a buy, and it went up 10% over the week and is still rolling, looking pretty darn fantastic, if I do say so myself. It is in the public account, doing quite well too. I like Penn National a ton. Things are looking up. We just got some news today that some NFL players actually had some false positive results, and so that is why we're starting to see some really strong movement on this one today, and I like Penn National a lot.
Yeah, Penn National is great. It's a star, and it has been the gift that keeps on giving.
No doubt about that. And actually, I have, Christian, I actually stole, do you know who Jarvis is by chance? You ever heard of Jarvis?
No, I know Jarvis Landry, but I don't.
No, not that Jarvis. The Jarvis from the Avengers. This is, Tony Stark's Jarvis is what I'm talking about. I actually stole him from Soundbites, and I asked him what he thought of Penn National today. Here's what he said.
We have a nice super boner, quite a lovely green one.
A green one indeed, Jarvis. Thank you very much for that. Can we not say enough good things about Penn National? We can't. But anyways, moving on to Morgan Stanley. Morgan Stanley was also on the list for Stockwatch Sunday, and we beat this one as well. Their estimated earnings per share were at $1.25, came out with an actual $1.66. Fat Man Zoom was all over this one and estimated that their earnings were going to come out at $1.30. I said $1.28, so we weren't too far off there, but they absolutely blew these earnings out of the water, my man.
Oh, I mean, their revenue too, it was like $1 billion over expected, which is just absolutely insane.
That's unbelievable.
We talked about this in our live stream on Thursday. Not all banks are created equal.
Right.
And so Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs whooped ass, opened up a can of whoop ass, and Bank of America and Wells Fargo did not, and they will not. So Morgan Stanley, man, off the top rope.
Yeah, I mean, it just keeps rolling. It's doing really, really well today. Up $52 a share, right up to $52 a share right now. Whereas during Stockwatch Sunday was sitting at $48.68. So a really nice move out of them, all things considered. When you're looking at the bank's side of things, I mean, I think this is definitely a hold, at least for the foreseeable future. You want something to invest in? Go GS or MS. You'll be all right. All right, my least favorite part of the show.
When Brad was wrong.
Bank of America actually beat earnings, if you can believe that, but they lost on everything else. Their revenue was absolutely terrible, and they're just not looking good. So in a sense, we were right about not wanting to really look at Bank of America as something to really kind of hang your hat on. It was more or less a word of caution. And if it comes down low enough, then yes, it would be a buy. Hasn't quite come down that far. Over the last couple of days, it's actually rebounded a little bit from its mid $23 range. I still like this at the low $23 range, and even below that. If it goes below $23, it would be something that I would consider scooping up. But those earnings reports were not great. I said that they would actually miss earnings at 45 cents. Their estimated earnings per share were at 47. They came in with an actual of 51. And Fat Man said 42 as well. Still not all that crazy about Bank of America, though.
We guess, it's fun.
Yeah, of course.
But the overall sentiment was right.
Yeah.
Right? Like we didn't think it would perform. We thought it would be a laggard. In the hierarchy, Wells Fargo is a little bit worse than its Bank of America.
Oh my God, Wells Fargo was terrible. Yeah.
Yeah. So we know we've predicted the order and it's played out like we thought. While we didn't miss on our exact numbers, the reality is we pretty much had that spot on.
Yeah, I mean, it still ended up gapping down even after those earnings from about $25 a share, and then came all the way down, crashing down, in the $23.50 range. So. Again, this isn't something that I would look to go towards. Again, I really like Goldman Sachs, and I like Morgan Stanley. Even JP Morgan did well this past week. We didn't really talk about that much, but they did really well too. And there's just so many other better opportunities out there than BAC. And and even Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo, I think some people ended up grabbing the dip on for some overreaction, but Wells Fargo was terrible too. Next, we have Honeywell, and this, I don't know if we were necessarily right or wrong. This is the first time this is ever really happens that we kind of missed the date on this, but we didn't really miss it. There just was a lot of confusion as far as when the Honeywell earnings are going to be. Well, now we have official word that Honeywell's earnings are going to be next week, October 15th. Their estimated earnings per share are still $1.48. We're still just going to stick around. Maybe we'll put this in next Stock Watch, or next Where I Was Right, Where I Was Wrong. Fat Man Zoom 153, his estimated earnings per share. Mine's at 150. We both think they beat handily. The only reason I'm saying that we were a little bit wrong is because the reaction to the stock really all week was kind of abysmal. So it's coming back, and if you actually ended up getting into Honeywell at the beginning of the week, you're pretty much flat at this point. I still think it's worth holding on to, and I actually think that we see a pretty decent run going into earnings next week.
Yeah, and you said October 15th. That's what we thought it was. It's October 30th.
I'm sorry. Yes, October 30th. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so not much to add there, but I'm expecting good earnings from them.
Yeah, I mean, and no question. So I think that just grabbing the dips on this makes a ton of sense, and it's still worth holding on to. And there you have it, guys. There's Where I Was Right, Where I Was Wrong. If you like this list, if you like us going over this, please give us a thumbs up. Make sure to tune in to a Stock Watch Sunday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, and we will be doing this all over again. And we have a fantastic week of earnings coming up, man. I'm super pumped for that.
Tesla, baby.
Yeah.
Tesla live stream.
Yeah, we're going to be doing Tesla live streams. We're going to be doing Amazon, Apple, all those big ones. It's going to be a fantastic week. So we hope to see you guys there. Again, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. As always, folks, we'll see y'all before the bell.